will say this: Kenny the Jet
let's
Smith.
talk about it,
Stop
man. Let's talk
being
about the
a
hater, man.
Good God,
Lord,
God,
what was he saying? Because I was at the bar, so I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear anything. What was Kenny saying this time? Who was he hating on? He's hating on
He
Sabrina?
was hating on Sabrina.
Oh,
He was hating on
man,
Sabrina. He was
bro.
like, "Oh my God, I have the quote right here."
Yeah.
He was like, what was it? She should have shot it from the women's line. Like,
Why?
dude, what?
Why?
Like, what?
What do you mean? Well, I mean,
Like,
what did Steph finish with? Like
saying
31?
She would have won if she shot from the women's line. I'm like, I don't get why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we trying to put Sabrina in a box and not like, she offered to do this. She did a great job at it. And instead of saying she should have, how about you say phenomenal? This is why she's great. This is why she's one of the best shooters. She's essentially shooting it from Curry range, from the NBA range. And I'm just shocked that that's the first comment that you got to say. I mean, first of all, Kenny, you were just on one last night. You were close to getting canceled by people. My God. But to say that for Sabrina, just respect her and what she did. Like, come on now. That was just, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Diminishing what she did on the court.
Kenny's been having a bad year, man. From the Brunson hate, the Knicks hate.
You know what's crazy? It's crazy that Reggie Miller had to be the voice of reason. Reggie Miller said, "Why are you putting those boundaries on her? She wanted to shoot from there." And the fact that I'm like, what is happening to this broadcast?
What is happening?
I have to agree with Reggie Miller.
Agree with Reggie. And I thought, and I was, like I said, I was at the bar, so I couldn't hear anything. But I just felt like the whole weekend, I'm like, oh my God, it's in Indiana. The Reggie pageantry is going to be too much for me to handle. I got to tune out. I got to put everything on mute because I can't stand to hear Reggie on a telecast, much less the whole All-Star weekend in Indiana. So Reggie had to be the voice of reason for this.
Reggie had to be the voice of reason. And then Kenny had to come back with this comment saying she should have shot from the line. There's a women's tee in golf, and there's a men's tee for a reason. Like, that is.
So this is funny, man, because shout out to Complex Sports. They collected a series of tweets last night around NBA Twitter reacting to Kenny's commentary. Joel Embiid, Kenny Smith been drinking. there's one. Hold on, let me roll it over so people in the chat can see it. Joel Embiid, Kenny Smith's been drinking. Who's this? Robert Littell, Black Sports Online. Kenny Smith, when he gets on Twitter, he puts the I got my ass cooked Adrian Bronner meme. Kenny Smith says literally anything. Kenny Smith about to be in the HR office first thing Monday morning.
Oh, we wait until we get to the dunk contest, because what he said for Jaime Jaquez, I was like, oh, you don't even know?
We got player hater ball memes for Kenny Smith from Twitter Chappelle Show. It's thing is with Kenny, he's been hating on the All-Star game for so many years. Like, I get it. There's certain aspects leave a lot to be desired. It's not as entertaining as it used to be, but you can't do that as the commentator. You're supposed to sell it as the greatest thing going on. You can't be as bored as the people at home. How does that help? If I'm TNT, I'm going crazy here. Like, let me get Drewski on the mic or something. Like,
they gotta figure something else out, man.
Get some comedians, man. Get Drewski, Kai Cenat. I don't know, man. They got to switch it up, man.
Something. Get somebody who is hungry, I guess, to want to sell the product, because I'm out here listening to him. You're knocking. This was the most anticipated matchup where it's like, all right, the best shooters from both leagues are going to compete. And then you're saying, oh, well, it could have been better if you did this and did that. It's like, bruh, like, I'm shocked. And then he had the audacity to say, no, I wanted to shoot from where you shoot from, said Smith. And there's nothing wrong with playing with dolls, Kayla and London. Y'all good with that, too. I'm like, what? We're talking about playing with dolls to end this segment. I'm like, dude, you are just
crazy.
It is insane. If I'm TNT, I'm like, yo, all right, call Kenny up, get him, pull the plug right now. We're getting him off here. But starting off, you have with Jaime Jaquez, as you mentioned. I didn't think he was that good. Like you said, having a good season. This is where it started to go south, especially with Kenny. Kenny sees the Mexican flag on the court. He's like, why is there a Mexican flag on the court? I'm like, and why are we showing Mexican players? I'm like, bro, are you serious?
Wait, why are we showing?
You don't know that Jaime Jaquez is Mexican? Like, he did not know that, apparently.
But he was asking why they had Mexican players on there?
Yeah, he was like, why are we showing Mexican players and why is there a Mexican flag on the court? I'm like,
oh my god. Wait, did they do like a montage of Mexican
on the court
Oh, okay.
on the LED court? They were showing the montage.
Okay,
and Kenny's like, why are we doing this? And I'm like, so you can't put two and two
he was
together.
hungover from the night before, man.
I was like,
did no research and just showed up for work, man.
This is crazy that you can't even figure that one out. Kenny then goes on to say Darnell Tillman instead of Darnell Hillman.
Oh man,
ruining the voting for because he was impressed by Jaylen Brown's dunk, and I'm like, what? I was like, you were impressed by Jaylen Brown? Here,
he's been doing it for too long. They need some fresh energy. They need some fresh legs out there because he's obviously taking it for granted and he doesn't care. Let's just put it that way. And then he has his annual party, his birthday party, the night before. So he probably got a little sauced up, hung over the next day. He's like, all right, let's get to the bag and get this thing over with. So wasn't Kenny's best night for sure.